and welcome to our first installment of Charleston's Progressive Community Forum. My name is Gary Beulah, and I will be your host for this show. And today we're introducing an illustrious panel of guests. We'll start with Georgette Mayo of the College of Charleston's Avery Research Center on African American History, Otha Meadows, Director of the Charleston Trident Urban League, and of course, Leroy Lewis Jr., Director of the College of Charleston's Upward Bound Program. Good evening, guests.
Good evening.
These topics are mainly to focus on education, economic development, and African American history. As you all are well aware, we are in, how would I say, very challenging economic times, and we want to bring about candid discussions to try to help people look at not the bad side of our economy, but the good side and what we need to do to uplift ourselves. And tell us, Georgette, give us a little information about the Avery Center, what you do, and how it impacts the community.
Our mission is to collect, preserve, and document the African American experience in Charleston, the Low Country, and South Carolina. We were created on the premise of education, and we continue to this day on education in different facets. We get to see the history before the historians get to write the books on it, and if you don't have those primary source documents, there's no history. So that's why it's imperative that we collect everybody's history, and a lot of people feel that you only collect people of notoriety. But people seem to forget that everyday people make history.
And now we're going to chime in with Leroy Lewis Jr. of the College of Charleston's Upward Bound Program.
Upward Bound is a pre-college program for high school students in grades 9 through 12. These are students who have the potential to be very successful in college, but perhaps they're not in the top 10% of their class, so they're overlooked very often. Also, these students would be the first in their families to earn a four-year college degree. What the program does, it helps to move students from poverty to the American dream.
Okay.
It helps to equip them so that they can better compete in the American culture, in the world, in the global market, and add something to their local community and to the national community. This program got started in the 1960s under the Johnson administration, fighting poverty, part of the anti-poverty movement, and it has survived, and it has survived simply because success.
We're going to chime in on Otha Meadows, the Executive Director of the Trident Urban League. And Otha, take into consideration the economy, all the challenges and constraints that everyone faces. How is that affecting our community?
As it relates to the economy, we need to understand some statistical aspects related to that. When we look at the unemployment rate, especially here in the state of South Carolina, which is approaching 10%, we need to look at some areas as it relates to the African American community where those unemployment rates, especially for African American males, are as much as 20 to 25%. When you look historically at what the Urban League is about, we have always been about economic parity. A central goal and theme of the National Urban League and the 100 Urban League affiliates across the country has been about moving African Americans into the mainstream socially and economically.
What is the most important thing that you think we should do?
Educational collaborations are the key, working with obviously our schools and community organizations. We can only be so strong as, we can't be strong being by ourselves.
Absolutely. Leroy?
I think that education also is important, and I think the personal responsibility of education, and that is to become a well-rounded person who understands that your education is more than just a college major or a college degree or some certification. It's the whole picture. What do I need to do in order to be an effective communicator? All of that is a part of who you are.
Okay, Otha, what is your picture?
All of the things that we've talked about here this evening are critically important because they're all related.
Yes.
As Georgette says, it's not one organization in and of itself. It's about a collaborative effort that needs to be brought to bear so that we can have a different kind of influence in hopes of having a different kind of outcome. Leroy touched on something earlier that I think is extremely important that we make note of. He talked about poverty. If it is that we can start addressing poverty, then we will have an opportunity to address all of those other areas, such as economic development, such as education, such as understanding the importance of our history. As Barack Obama said, it's not about the top down, it's from the bottom up. Yes. And it's about us getting down in the community and engaging folks so that they understand the role that they have to play and the investment they have to make in helping us all come together and make our community stronger, more vibrant, and as productive as it can possibly be.
Absolutely. Great stuff. And we want to thank you all for joining us. And remember, the responsibility is in you, yourself, your community, and the building of our city. Thank you very much for attending our candid discussion, and we look forward to having you back again.
Okay, thank you for having us.
Thank you so much, Gary.